Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Friday, July 30th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, Dave Murray's weather forecast, and your opportunity to subscribe to the audio of the Daily Dose on iTunes down in the corner. We're under the overhang today, dodging the raindrops. Something tells me that by the time you are watching this later on today, the sun might be out, so let's just see. We continue on with our 15-month paid vacation, and the big news today is national show business news, American Idol. What is going on? Ellen quits. Ellen DeGeneres says, yeah, you know, I'm really busy with my other show, and also, I don't know, I just felt like I was sort of having to be mean on the show, and that's not really me. And then word comes down that they fired Cara DeGuardi, and I was just getting used to her. And yeah, I was starting to like her, and Randy has 1 year left on the contract, but there's some speculation that when you watch American Idol starting in a couple of months, when they do the auditions in January, it's possible there might not be anybody left over from the old show, so we will see. You know, the original producer of that show has been hired back, and he says that the show has been way too much about the judges and not enough about the contestants, and he might be right. Of course, yesterday we told you that some of the new names that were starting to pop up included Jessica Simpson, which I'm fine with as long as she continues her policy of wearing t-shirts that are about 3 sizes too small for her. The latest show business celebrities we're hearing possibility of judges, Courtney Love. Also, there's a very strong rumor going around now that Jennifer Lopez may sign on as one of the judges. And the other name we're hearing is Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. We shall see. What a crazy day for American Idol. The president not invited to Chelsea Clinton's wedding this weekend in upstate New York. Planners were a little concerned that perhaps the president and Hillary might show up wearing the same suit. I almost got through that, cracking myself up here. President Obama on The View yesterday, he said he did the show because his spouse watches it. Now that's the same logic that Laura Bush used when she appeared on The Wiggles. Netflix, Redbox, Blockbuster, all of these places like just trying to grab as much money as possible while they can, because very soon you can see this coming. Movies are going to be streaming right to your television, your computer and stuff like that. In some cases they already are, but it's going to be big time here very soon. Do you know who distributes more DVDs than any other source, any other outlet? Your public library. About 2.1 million DVDs a day, and of course it's free over there now if there were just some movies that were worth watching. Drew Carey, maybe you heard this, lost 70 pounds. We checked on it, he just took off his glasses. The new iPhone equals PORN. You know, this happened with the VCR in the very late 1970s, early 1980s. People were buying up VCRs like crazy, and it wasn't necessarily just so they could watch the football game later on when they got home from work. It was porn. And now with this little two-way feature on the new iPhones where both people can be looking at each other, the porn industry hiring people left and right to fill, shall we say, positions. Keep your eye on that. All right. You know the name Violet Kowal? Sounds to me like it was shortened from Kowalski. This woman says she was cheating with Mel Gibson on Oksana. And she says that she boinked him in his office many times, and that he had movie posters all over his office and drew mustaches on the other stars that he didn't like. Also says that she watched him inject himself with human growth hormone on numerous occasions. The Golden Gate Bridge. John Hewlett and I went when the Cardinals played the Giants back a couple of years ago in the baseball playoffs. And the first thing you do, you go to San Francisco, got to see the Golden Gate Bridge. I'd never seen it before. Now, this thing was built in 1937, and since that time, there have been about 2,000 people who have jumped off that bridge to commit suicide. By far and away, the #1 suicide destination in the world. Well, they thought about it over the course of the last, 70-some-odd years. Said, maybe this is like a black eye on the community. Maybe we ought to try to stop this. So they are planning to build a giant steel net that will hang below the Golden Gate Bridge. Price tag, $45 million. Elmhurst, Illinois, a little suburb just west of Chicago. And this is one of these things that you're going to think I'm making this up, but I'm not. Apparently, there was a city hall meeting a while back, and some woman was listening to somebody speak, and she was rolling her eyes back in her head like, oh, geez, this guy. Not saying anything, just rolling her eyes back in her head. They are thinking about passing a law in Elmhurst, Illinois that would make it illegal to roll your eyes back in your head. They are trying to expand the definition of disorderly conduct. You would get a ticket and a fine if you did that in Elmhurst, Illinois. This woman who rolled her eyes at this city hall meeting, they told her she had to leave the meeting. All right. ESPN, on occasion, does movies. You know, movies that they make and that they produce themselves. And they're going to be running one very, very soon. Now, remember the year 2003? This is when everybody thought the Cubs were going to finally make it into the World Series. Playing the Florida Marlins, it looked like they were on their way. All they had to do was win this last game, and they were ahead. And then the infamous Steve Bartman incident. You remember it. Moises Alou comes over to the wall, reaches up to catch the ball. Bartman leans over. The rest is history. Now, I was at that ball game, and I was sitting one section over and about 25 rows behind it when it happened. It all happened right in front of me. I saw the entire thing. So anyhow, ESPN has shot well, they're calling it a docudrama, and they're going to show this thing the night before the World Series. The Bartman, I don't know what the name of it is. We will find out, but it's going to run the night before the World Series. All right, the University of Southern California Journalism and Communications Department has just done a study on media, and in particular new media. And here's some of the numbers. 56% of internet users think that newspapers are very important. That's down 4 points from 2 years ago. As you know, when you start asking about important information sources, the internet 78%, TV 68%. That's bad news for television, but 61% believe that half of the information you get out of the internet is completely unreliable, and another 14% say it's never reliable. 22% of the people responding said they would not miss their daily newspaper if it went away. 70% find internet ads annoying, but 55% of those people say that's still better than having to pay for stuff that we are getting free on the internet right now. I want to go back and circle back to something I was talking about HD radio the other day. And, you know, I want to pick up a couple of things that I forgot. You know, most people don't even know what HD radio is. This, despite like 5 straight years of incessant promos that radio stations keep running. And some of the people who seem to be as unfamiliar as they could possibly be with HD radio are people who work in electronics stores. A while back, I went to 7 of the big chain electronic stores, the ones that they say you're supposed to go to in the commercials. You know, just go here and pick up this Insignia radio, $50, whatever. So I went to 7 of these places. Well, first of all, you know, you go into an electronics store, they're selling, you know, Blu-ray, DVD players, so there's a big sign that says Blu-ray, or big screen TVs, and it says, or satellite radio, and they got a big section with a big banner, a big sign above the whole place. Well, nothing for HD radio in any of these stores. And the sales guys didn't even know what I was talking about. And they were looking at me like, ooh, HD radio. You know, they didn't know anything about it. They're just mystified. And again, the industry keeps cranking out this this bullshit argument that, well, you know, that's what people said about FM radio, that it would never catch on back in the 1960s, and you can see what happened. Well, first of all, there was exciting, compelling programming and music that was drawing people to FM back in the 1960s. And also, people had the radios in their houses already. They had, you know, most radios had AM and FM, and they might not have clicked over to FM, but at least they could when they finally found out from their friends that there was something really interesting to listen to. So, you know, you'd have to go out and buy a new radio for $50 or $300. And I'm telling you, I was driving around, because I try to keep tabs on this stuff for you. And I was driving around, my HD radio was just skipping around all over the place. You go behind a building. I don't even think these things are at full power. It's one of the biggest boondoggles in the history of radio. And everybody remember AM stereo back in the 80s, and one day it just sort of went away. All right, JC's Wayback Machine. Craig Hawksley doing his placky Toyota commercial as Mike Shannon back in the 1980s. Also JC's Video Village, that 3-part series on local radio from 1986. Not necessarily the news, John Jay with Brendan Ryan. JC's Eye Candy. Oh, how big was Bon Jovi back in the 1980s? Oh, we have the evidence of that in some pictures that have just been released. How big was Bon Jovi with the chicks. Oh, and I want to go back to Craig Hawksley for a minute, who's in that Placky Toyota commercial I just told you about. Craig sent me something very funny. It's the 5 stages of life in show business, and here they are. Number 1, who is Craig Hawksley? Number 2, get me Craig Hawksley. Number 3, get me a Craig Hawksley type. Number 4, whatever happened to Craig Hawksley? And number 5, who is Craig Hawksley? And of course, you always try to shoot for number 2, get me Craig Hawksley. Very, very funny, Craig. And you still see him opening up for comedy acts all over the city, Westport Funny Bone, all that sort of stuff. And his wife, by the way, is running for office in Webster Groves, and you ought to vote for her. All right, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Friday, July 30th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. The rain continues to fall here. We are hiding out, but that sunshine is coming. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. In the meantime, tell all your friends we're here at jc'ontheline.com. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye!